For more on this, we're joined by economist Marc Touati. Standard & Poor's downgrading of the credit rating of 9 Eurozone countries has widened the gap between the good and the bad. Politicians are saying this isn't the right time to do this. Do you think this latest series of downgrades is a serious threat to the efforts to end the crisis?
France should have been downgraded a long time ago. We have not deserved a AAA rating for a long time, and we have kept it out of sympathy thanks to the fact that the pairing of France and Germany in the Eurozone was seen as very credible. The problem is that unfortunately for many years our spending has increased. Now it represents 57% of French GDP. Public debt has soared. It is over 85% of GDP. And above all, and that's the tragedy, there is no growth. Now in the last 4 years it's been the same for almost all countries in the Eurozone, with the exception of Germany, the Netherlands, Luxembourg and Finland. So all the others have not had enough growth to even pay back the interest on their public debt. That means that to pay the interest, they have to go further into debt. This is called the debt bubble, and so there was going to be an inevitable deterioration. So was the downgrade too early or too late? Whatever. The real issue right now is not that the bill has come due, it's that unfortunately the Eurozone finds itself in a recession, and that's what's very dangerous.
This downgrade is eventually going to have an effect on the EFSF, the European Financial Stabilisation Fund, which is supposed to help countries in trouble. The funds available for the EFSF were already being described as insufficient, and now it's going to be even less effective. How much of a problem is that?
It is clear that we'll have trouble keeping the AAA rating for the EFSF, and if it's downgraded, it will be difficult to find funding for countries that are in trouble. And German Chancellor Angela Merkel has just confirmed that Berlin will not increase its contribution to the Stability Fund, and that means we'll have difficulty supporting other countries, so we'll just have to forget it. Unfortunately, right now we're fighting a battle that is already over, as the debt already exists. What we need to do now is stop that public debt getting any bigger, and to do that we have to reduce deficits, and to reduce them we have to generate growth. That is the Eurozone's most fundamental problem right now, that unfortunately there is no growth. It's actually even worse than that, because the Eurozone was back in recession in the fourth quarter. So if there's no growth, there are more deficits and therefore more debt, and we remain in this vicious spiral.
Germany's kept its AAA, France lost hers. Does that mean Angela Merkel will be happy and can now say, I'm alone in control of the Eurozone?
Germany is stronger, and it deserves to be, because over the last 10 years Germany has made drastic reforms, reducing public spending, which is only 46% of GDP, compared with France's 57%, and the Germans are not living any worse than the French. However, Germany can't take care of the Eurozone on its own, and expects France to make an effort as well, particularly through fiscal consolidation. That doesn't mean that we must rashly raise taxes, it means we must reduce public spending, targeting areas where it wouldn't make much difference. For example, the French operating budget, which has increased by 10 billion euros every year for the last 10 years. And as long as France doesn't cut spending, it's going to be difficult to get out of this crisis.
Marc Touati, Chief Economist with Asia Compagnie Financière, thanks for your insights.